While we're waiting around for a giant earthquake to rip California from the rest of the United States, we thought we'd take a look at what the U.S. would lose without Test Tube Daily's home state of California. So just how powerful is California? Well, for starters, California is the U.S.'s most populous state and is home to 1 in 8 Americans with a population of nearly 40 million. In fact, more people live in California than in all of Canada. That huge population brings in a ton of income. Alone, California generates more than $2 trillion in GDP, about 12% of the U.S.'s total GDP. The state economy ranks around 8th or 9th largest in the world. That's about the same amount of money generated by global superpowers like Russia and Italy. California's robust economy isn't an accident. The state hosts some of the biggest companies in the world, including Apple, Disney, Google, and others. California is also one of the top agricultural producers in the U.S., churning out more fruits, vegetables, wines, and nuts than any other state. But the bulk of their farming cash comes from grapes, cotton, oranges, and maybe, unsurprisingly, marijuana. California grows nearly 40% of America's weed, some 8.5 million pounds a year. And don't forget, California has the single most successful film industry in the world, responsible for some $500 billion a year. Clearly, if California broke off from the U.S., they'd be pretty well off as the weed, wine, and walnut capital of America. But what are they going to do if some country wants a piece of that California sunshine? Can California defend itself? Well, between the California National Guard and State Military Reserve, they've got about 25,000 ground, air, and sea troops. That's roughly on par with Denmark in terms of active troop levels, which is not much. Plus, with some of the strictest gun control laws in the country, the idea of a local militia uprising is unlikely. All in all, California could be one of the greatest and most powerful nation-states in the world. But despite its high-yield status, California has the highest tax rate in the country, is suffering from the worst drought in a millennium, and holds nearly $500 billion in debt. California also suffers from an influx of undocumented immigrants, with roughly 2.5 million out of a total 11.2 million countrywide. Clearly, California isn't as self-sufficient as it would need to be for this whole breaking off the continent pipe dream to work out. Still, without it, the U.S. wouldn't have Hollywood or In-N-Out Burger. So how powerful is California? Hella powerful.